There's a quiet pattern behind every comeback story. It's not luck, it's not timing, it's a shift in awareness. The people who rise again aren't superhuman. They simply stop arguing with reality. They stop asking, why did this happen? And start asking, what is this teaching me? It sounds small, but it changes everything. Because when you stop treating life as an accident, you start treating it as training. Imagine this. You lose your job, your savings shrink, you feel trapped. Most people crumble there, but a few see it as a forced internship, a brutal, uninvited course in reinvention, and they use it. They learn sales because no one else will sell for them. They learn discipline because there's no one left to push them. They start small, freelancing, flipping, creating, and one day they look back and realize the worst year was the foundation of everything good that came after. The wealthy don't see crisis as the end. They see it as the exam that proves what they've learned, and those exams never stop coming. Life, if you pay attention, plays by the same rules as a game. The players change, but the map stays the same. You can't control the obstacles, but you can control how you play. Every betrayal, every failed deal, every heartbreak is just another level. Beat it once and you never have to face it the same way again. If you refuse to play, if you hide, complain, or quit, the same boss waits for you again and again. Different faces, same lesson. That's why some people date the same kind of pain for years. They're still stuck at level 1. When I started my first business, I had nothing but an idea and the kind of optimism that only people with nothing to lose can afford. No money, no mentors, no reputation, just long nights, cheap coffee, and the belief that effort could rewrite my future. It didn't take long to realize belief wasn't enough. Clients vanished, partners betrayed. The bank balance looked like a countdown timer. But each failure taught me a pattern. I learned that people pay for trust more than skill, that cash flow beats profit on paper, that rejection is information, not humiliation. Every lesson was a scar, and every scar paid dividends later. Because the second time around, I didn't flinch when things went wrong. I recognized the level. Growth, at its core, is subtraction. At first you add new skills, new projects, new chaos. Then one day you realize you don't need more, you need less. Fewer distractions, fewer fake goals, fewer yeses. That's when real wealth begins. Not when you can afford more, but when you can ignore more. Even the most successful people reach a point where they have to prune what they've built. They stop multiplying and start refining. They return to what matters: time, purpose, peace. That's not regression, that's mastery. Eventually, you stop seeing life as random. You start noticing its structure. The wrong people appear to teach boundaries. The closed doors teach patience. The losses teach focus. It's not karma, it's curriculum. Every hardship is an assignment. And the moment you pass it, it disappears from your life. This doesn't mean you should romanticize pain. It means you should understand its purpose. The game isn't to avoid suffering. It's to outgrow the version of you that still needs it. Some call it fate. Some call it divine design. But whatever you believe, there's one freedom no one can take: your awareness. That's where every turnaround begins. Not with money, not with motivation, with the quiet realization that your thoughts write your future. You can be born poor and still win, because poverty of circumstance can't defeat a rich state of mind. You can be betrayed and still trust again, because your heart isn't broken, it's being trained to love wisely. You can fail in public and still rise again, because embarrassment fades faster than regret. Think of it this way: every life comes with a mission. Not the dramatic kind, just one built into your story. You're not here to copy someone else's success path. You're here to complete your own assignment. For some, that assignment is to rebuild after failure. For others, it's to find peace after chaos. And for a few, it's to turn their scars into lanterns for others. That's the essence of what I call the passive path. It's not about being passive, it's about mastering stillness, the kind that makes smart moves inevitable. You stop reacting, start observing, and realize that wealth is less about speed and more about sequence, doing the right thing at the right time, with the right awareness. In the next part, we'll explore how awareness compounds faster than capital, and why emotional control is the most profitable investment you'll ever make. Emotional control is the quiet currency of the rich. It's the skill that decides who keeps their fortune and who loses it in a single bad week. Most people think investing is about numbers, but the best investors aren't the smartest. They're the calmest. They don't buy when everyone's cheering. They buy when everyone's panicking. And they don't do it because they're fearless. They do it because they've practiced staying still when their nerves scream run. The richest minds don't chase the market. They study their reactions to it. They know that every spike in anxiety is just an opportunity to strengthen awareness. Because the real game isn't between you and the market, it's between you and your emotions. Think of every fear as a pop quiz from life. It asks, do you really believe in your plan, or were you just borrowing confidence from good times? When the price drops, most people don't lose money because the asset changed. They lose because their story did. They stop believing. They sell the stock, and also sell the lesson. Then they repeat the same mistake in a different form. But the calm investor, the one who breathes through the chaos, knows that markets are mirrors. They don't punish you. They reveal you. Stillness is not laziness. It's precision. It's the space between reaction and wisdom. That tiny pause before you decide what a problem means. The person who can sit still in uncertainty gains time, perspective, and control. And time, perspective, and control compound faster than any portfolio. Because money follows patience, and patience follows peace. The most profitable people aren't rushing toward success. They're walking toward clarity. They know that when the mind is quiet, the next move appears by itself. Every setback has two stories, one that breaks you and one that builds you. You don't get to choose the event, but you do get to choose the story. When Donald Trump faced billions in debt, he could have surrendered. Instead, he reframed it as a negotiation test, a stage where he could sharpen his persuasion skills. Whether you like him or not, the principle holds. He turned humiliation into data, pain into leverage, and that shift changed his trajectory. Same storm, different steering. It's the same with your personal life. You can see illness as punishment or as pause. You can see rejection as insult or as redirection. You can see a closed door as failure or as filter. The world doesn't change. Your meaning of it does, and that meaning defines your future. The poor wait for life to get easier. The rich train for it to get harder. Because they know comfort makes you slow, but challenge makes you alive. There's an old saying, heaven and hell are a single thought apart. One mindset builds paradise. The other repeats misery. When you believe the world is against you, you become the kind of person who proves it right. But when you believe the world is training you, every obstacle becomes a coach. And suddenly, the same chaos feels like choreography. That's what emotional control really means, not coldness, not apathy, but awareness sharp enough to turn pain into pattern. It's easy to think all this sounds philosophical, but look closely, it's pure practicality. The people who master their emotions run their businesses better, lead teams with steadier hands, and survive longer in volatile markets. Emotional control saves marriages, friendships, and companies. It's the hidden edge no spreadsheet can measure, because you can't build a fortune if you can't stay stable while building it. One day you'll notice a shift. The noise of the world will keep roaring, but inside you'll feel still. You'll watch people panic and wonder why it feels familiar but no longer contagious. That's the sign you've leveled up. The boss didn't disappear, you just outgrew it. And that's the game, not to eliminate chaos, but to stay calm enough to use it. That calm is freedom. That freedom is wealth. And that wealth, once earned, can never be taken. Every challenge you faced was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal you, the version of yourself that can't be shaken by loss, noise, or fear. You've made it this far because somewhere inside you already knew how to rise. And now you know why you must. If this message sparked something in you, take a moment to like this video. It helps this channel reach more people who need the same reminder. Subscribe to The Passive Path so you don't miss the next lesson on wealth, mindset, and freedom. Leave a comment below and tell me which part spoke to you the most. And if there's someone you care about who's struggling right now, share this video with them. It might be the sign they've been waiting for. Thank you for spending your time here. I wish you clarity, courage, and calm wealth. You're doing better than you think. I'll see you in the next video on The Passive Path.